Happy Thanksgiving, y'alls. This is the Solomon Project, where it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep that counts. I'm your host, Richard Burns. Let's get on with this. Happy Thanksgiving, y'alls. I'll probably be doing a live tomorrow night. Definitely Saturday, because it's Saturday Night Live. You know how we do. And there's some stuffings I want to show you. So this is one for the Trump supporting truck drivers, right? So look what Trump went ahead and did. He threatened to put tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China already has existing. China already has existing tariffs on them. But here we go. Kabam. Okay. This could potentially disrupt the flow of goods coming in from north, from the south, and from the west, our west coming from the far east. So that's going to prove to be interesting what they decide to do, if they decide to retaliate, and how. If you have a bad memory, let me help you with that. During Trump's first term, when he sanctioned China, not sanctioned, my apologies, when he tariffed China, China turned around and cut the demand for farm goods here from the United States. So whoever was producing soybeans, they took a massive hit, and some other crops as well. China found an alternative for probably most of their agricultural needs with Brazil and Argentina. And best believe they're very happy with that. And if Trump comes back and does this again, well, Brazil and Argentina will probably profit from that once again. So does Trump have leverage, enough leverage to really get what he wants out of China and Mexico and Canada? So what he's saying is that Canada and Mexico are making it easy for China to pump drugs into our country. China sends it to both those countries, and then they enter the United States through both our northern and southern border. That's the claim. There's been a war on drugs for many, many years. I still don't understand how we can send troops and equipment halfway around the world, pulverize the fourth largest military force in 72 hours, and we can't do anything against the cartels in South and Central America? I don't know about that. But in any event, yeah, I mean, this is causing a little bit of a complication with our neighbors. Now, here's something to take into consideration, right? Trump did complain about a trade deficit between the United States and several countries, but most of all, China. Because China is the number one largest manufacturer in the world. We're the number one buyers in the world as a single country. You could say that the European Union might be a larger consumer, but that's a bunch of countries put together. But for a single country, the United States is massive. Now, here's the deal, right? I just want you to think about this for a second. For those of you who are willing to think, because according to some statistics, a huge percentage of Americans just are not capable of critical thinking. Not anything I'm saying. You can find this in Google. Our educational standards are so low that some, like half of the Americans are not good at critical thinking. Sorry to say. But here's the dilly, y'all. And again, I want you to think about this. I want you to think about this carefully. If you have a trade deficit with China, for example, what is it that Trump has always been proposing to do? So he wants to bring corporations, American corporations, back to the United States to manufacture here in the United States. It sounds lovely. However, how much are the products going to cost when manufactured here, being manufactured by Americans? Has anyone bothered to look to see what the average wage is in China? Maybe I can find that for you. Average wage in China. Oops. I forgot to put the word wage in. Let's check. Is this accurate? According to the recent data, the average monthly wage in China is around 29,000 Chinese yuan, which translates into approximately 4,000 US dollars based on current exchange rates, representing an average salary of roughly 348,000 a year, 48,000 US dollars a year, 348,000 renminbi a year. Is that accurate? Is that accurate? Well, that's really not a bad salary for the average person. Let's check another piece of information. Yeah, 352 yuan, 50,000. This one says slightly higher, according to Salary Expo. Oh, here we go. I would have to say that that's not bad for China. Average salary. What's the average U.S. salary? Let's check and see. Average wage in the U.S. There we go. Let's see. Okay, 63,000. 63,000 a year. Let me see something. Can you see that? No, you can't. So let me put that up. So 48,000, 40 to 50,000 in China. And average wage here in the United States is 63,795. That's the average salary. So if we can believe what the Chinese are putting out, 48 to 50,000 a year, which really isn't that bad, but it's still less than what it is here. So if we were to manufacture goods here in the United States, the average wage would have to go down. And if that's the case, I wonder how many people would voluntarily take a pay cut just so that a corporation can manufacture goods here in the United States. I would have to ask, what's the unemployment rate here in the United States? Let's check and see. Unemployment rate in the US. Let's see what it is. Oh, look. This is interesting. Look at this. Unemployment rate here in the US of A. 4.1% as of October. In April of 2020, it was 14.8%. April of 2020. Elections were in when? November of 2020. Was that during the Trump administration? 14.8? That's a big, that thing shot up big time. But as of July, no, well, here, as of October, it's 20, it's 4.1 as of October. So that's very low, by the way. That's very low. I'm not even going to bother to check the unemployment rate in China because China doesn't put out that kind of information. But from what others have gathered, it's extremely high. So let's go back to what I was saying. So if you want corporations to come back, for it to be economically viable for them to come back, U.S. citizens are going to have to take a pay cut. Are you down with that? With all the complaining that so many people have made about food being too expensive, fuel being too expensive, are you willing to take a pay cut just to get these corporations back to the United States? And they would have to compete with the rate of pay, manufacturing at the rate of pay of other countries, not just China, but Laos, Vietnam, Philippines. Can we really compete and manufacture? Bangladesh? Oof, Bangladesh is like crazy. To compete, let's see what it is. What's the average rate of pay in Bangladesh? Because we get goods that come in from Bangladesh. Rate of pay in Bangladesh. Bangla. Let's check out Bangla. Let's go. Bangla. Whoa. Check this out. Can we compete with this? Check this out. 26,000 Bangladeshi taka. That's the monthly salary, which is roughly $245 a month. Can we compete with that? Can we compete with that? $245 a month. Are American citizens prepared to compete with Bangladesh to make $245 a month? And you can go up and down and check the Philippines, check Indonesia, check Laos, Vietnam, check all those places. Cambodia, check all those places. Check to see what the wages are in those places. India, check to see it, the average wages. And ask yourself, can we compete with those places? Can we reduce our wages so that when we manufacture our goods, we can compete with those countries and sell at rates that those countries sell at? Can we do that? So the idea, I'm curious. Leave a comment below, telling me whether you're willing to do that or not. How much do you make a month? 4,000, 5,000, 3,000? What do you make a month? You prepared to cut it down to $245 a month so that we can get the corporations back into the United States, manufacturing here in the United States? Or are you just willing to let the corporations come in and just use so much automation that they're not going to have to hire many people, manufacture, and increase the unemployment rate because of automation? I don't know. What do you think? Should we do that? Because see, these tariffs that Trump wants to implement, what's going to happen when Mexico and Canada just say, well, you're one of the largest buyers, but you're not the only buyer. So we can, if we decide to take most of our business somewhere else, I don't know. That's a trade war. That's what you call a trade war. Yeah. Well, I'll let you think about that. And I want to touch upon Ukraine. I think I mentioned before in another video. Before 2016, Trump wanted to build a luxury hotel in Moscow. So he went out to Russia, probably expecting to talk to Putin, but Putin dissed him. He sent some, I don't know what rank he was in the government of Russia, but he might have felt slighted by that. Trump might have felt slighted by that. But Trump didn't know anything or the inside workings of the Russian government and Putin until he became the president in 2016. The relationship was kind of funny, but Biden softened up the Russians substantially with the move that he made with the sanctions and by providing Ukraine with their own defenses so that they can defend themselves. Russia was so desperate, they asked North Korea to send some troops over there. And now he's threatening to use, well, he already launched some ICBMs or ICRMs. I don't know what they call them, but lots of people got all nervous and scared and whatnot. No need to be scared. Russia has threatened several times in the past to go nuclear and never did. He can't afford to go nuclear. So the Russian economy is in really bad shape. The Russian ruble, their currency, oh my goodness. Nobody's using it. Nobody wants to use the ruble around the world. Nobody wants to exchange with the ruble. So Russia right now is so weak that when Trump comes in now, I don't think he's going to see Putin the same way he saw him last time. He'll do business with him, I'm sure, but Trump is going to acknowledge that he has so much leverage that Putin might have to bend the knee. He might have to. Or Trump might flip the script and say, you know, you're going to have to do a permanent partnership with your resources. And half your resources belong to us. Would Putin go for that? Keep in mind, Putin has a relationship with Iran. Good relationship with Iran and China. And MAGA don't like that. MAGA don't like that. Now, this is something that Trump did that can give credence to what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Retired general picked to be a Russia-Ukraine envoy. This dude, Keith Kellogg, is no flake. Okay? He is no flake. This dude is serious about Russia. Very serious. He's one of them old school, should I say anti-Russian? Should I say that? I don't know if I should say that, but he definitely recognizes Russia as an enemy, not as a friend. Now, we all know Trump acted like he was buddies with Putin, but like I said, now that he knows just how weak, and he loves to negotiate, Trump loves to negotiate now. He sees how weak Russia is. Trump knows he's got the advantage, big time. So what kind of deals is he going to strike with the Russians now, with Putin now? He knows he's got the upper hand for sure. The dollar is strong right now. The dollar is super strong. And a lot of countries are suffering because of the fact that the dollar is strong. Let's see what happens, y'all. Let's see what happens now here on U.S. territory. There are going to be some changes. There are going to be some serious changes. But I'm going to save that for the live. We'll discuss that later. But for now, everybody, you know what you can do? You can stay fresh and keep it profitable. You know what? I forgot to mention a very important thing, something that you will find in the description below. You're going to find a link to a brokerage, Acorns. Acorns is the type of brokerage that is set it and forget it, pretty much. It's pretty much set it and forget it. And if you're not participating in the stock market, you are hurting yourself. And come 2025, you'll really be hurting yourself. I hope you don't hurt yourself. But in the description below, you'll find a link and just follow the directions and you're good to go. So once again, stay fresh and keep it profitable. Peace out, y'all.